is exactly 19 minutes gone past the hour of 12 on the PM side, and the Sunny Side show has just started in earnest. We're kicking it off with the National Core Values program right here on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. All right, so my name is Omoife Peace Osemere, and
I am Holy Ray, the Queen of Media.
We have our guest with us in the studios, Lawrence Uleji. He is the Global Secretary at Generation for Societal Change, an organization dedicated to promoting, these values that we're about to talk about for the benefit of future generations. Now, it is no longer news that we already set the tone or the pace for this conversation, a couple of weeks back, and we could not really, because of time, address all of the national core values. So we just thought it wise to continue from where the conversation stopped the last time. I recall very clearly that in the course of the conversation the last time, we did talk about, discipline. We did talk about integrity. We talked about religious tolerance. We also talked about patriotism, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed.
All right. But there are more national, core national values. You talk about dignity of labor. You talk about social justice and even self-reliance. All right. And we'd like you to know that this is an audience participatory program, so it's very important for you to always lend your voice, call in, ask questions or make contributions as far as this discourse is concerned. And the studio numbers that you can actually call to indulge us are
09073530044 or 09087668888.
Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 090970544 and 50. So, Lawrence Uleji, good to have you in our studios once again.
Thank you very much, Ife and Holy. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Okay, so very quickly now, I'd like us to start with, amongst the national core values. And by the way, for those who are wondering what national core values are all about, now, the national core values are actually enshrined in Chapter 2, Section 23 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and the reason for these values, the reason why we have these values is just to shape how we behave, all right, how we act and how we sell the Nigerian, brand even before, the international community. They say that it's just important, it's just okay for some sense of decorum in everything that we'll find ourselves, doing. As a society, we're not a lawless people, all right? So these national core values are here, or they are there to guide you as a proud citizen of, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But once you see yourself acting otherwise, acting out of character, well, that tells you, one thing, that you're not really a patriotic Nigerian, because it's beyond you reciting the national anthem, it's beyond you reciting the pledge.
Yes.
It's beyond you waving the Nigerian flag every October 1, of which people hardly do.
You say every October 1.
So it's more than that.
Yeah.
So Lawrence Uleji, let's start with dignity of labor as a national core value.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much, Ife and Holy Ray, for having me, and I want to say thanks to the management at Eagles FM for really taking this program and making it trend, let me put it that way. Before we actually dive into these singular values, let me just share with the listeners what the benefits of our national values are. Last 2 weeks when I was here, I shared with you that these national values have been in our constitution, but many Nigerians do not know, including lawyers. As a matter of fact, many lawyers do not know. I mentioned the legal aid CDS at Area 10, and I said when I asked them, they had not heard about the national values. Even myself, I came in contact with the national values in 2015 when I paid a visit to the then Director General of the National Orientation Agency. That was when he brought our attention to it in the Constitution. Before that time, since 2010, we have been going around talking to Nigerians about the benefits of imbibing core values, because we identified the lack of values as a key part of the problem facing society. All right. But yes, of course, if we want to really share with Nigerians these values, we need to tell them what the importance of these national values are. The first thing is that these national values will build your character rightly. we cannot overemphasize the importance of character. Even when you go to a university, what they tell you is you have been found worthy in learning and character.
Yes.
Right.
People kind of ignore the character part. They say, oh, I have a distinction in mathematics, but they don't know that there are so many people with distinction in mathematics. What sets the difference is the quality of the character. The second thing is it facilitates the growth and development of a society. When these values are there, there is no way, because these values, as you see them, there are 7 of them, they also build teamwork.
Yeah.
That patriotic spirit makes us to collaborate very well. The integrity makes you to trust what I say and believe that what I say I will do, I will do. These things have impact on society and they are positive. The third is it gives prestige and recognition to an individual, an organization, a society, a race. These days, where I think the world has actually is changing. But
Yeah.
before now, when you see a white person, there's a way you kind of perceive that person.
Yes.
Even if that person is a criminal, but just because of the overtime demonstration of a certain level of character, you say, oh, once there's an Oyibo man here, we have to give them the job. They will know what they are doing. That's what it is. And we're now trying to bring that back to ourselves and say, you know what? There should be a time in the future when somebody will look at a Nigerian and know that Nigerians have taken their national values so seriously that now when you see a Nigerian in a room, you say, yes, this Nigerian deserves this particular thing. The fourth is it's built the right foundation, culture for future generations. What do we have to teach our children if not this character? You send them to school, once they come home, once they see your demonstrations, they are learning, they have hope that they can compete globally. This world,
Yeah.
if you stop your wristwatch, it doesn't stop time.
At
So
all.
once you leave here, you're going to compete with the Germans, you're going to compete with the Japanese, you're going to compete with the Chinese, you're going to compete with the Danish. Why would you now be living like you're the only one on the planet?
Yes.
So these values would definitely position the future generations for competition. And then it enhances governance. The society will be better organized and hence grow and develop faster. Even we talked about the traffic light 2
Right,
weeks ago.
right.
Yeah.
When they say stop, everybody stops. The level of accident that happens at junctions is reduced. Do you understand? And then that saves somebody money. That saves
Time.
that saves time. That saves a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the benefits of our collective national values. The benefits are much. I just had to call 5 so that the listener understands that what we are saying is not a joke. We are not just here to talk. We are here to say something that is so potent, is so important. And as a matter of fact, we are late. You know what I mean? We are so late in talking about these things so much that it enters even the minds of the younger generation.
Right.
Okay, now with all you've said, that's quite understood. But how do you bring the respect for hard work into this?
How do you mean respect for hard work?
That's dignity of labor.
Okay,
What
of
is
course,
the place of dignity of
course.
labor
So,
in this?
just like you asked, dignity of labor is one of our core values. The most important thing I think about dignity of labor is the mindset. And please, as I even speak, I want the listeners to know that I am not all-knowing. All right, that's why we say it's an interactive conversation.
Right.
The
Yes.
most important thing is that we have pushed the concept of the national values to the minds of the listeners. It's now for the listeners to process with their conscience and then report back with what they think. On dignity of labor, I think it's about the mindset. How do you carry your work? What do you do? Some people go to work, some people are even shy about what they do, but the most important thing we see about dignity is that everybody's role is important.
Right.
The president's role is as important as the driver's role. The president cannot drive himself across Nigeria.
Absolutely.
The president cannot fly himself. The president cannot even wash his toilet. He might not even have the time. So the woman or the man that washes the toilet
Yeah.
of the president, his job, his role is as important as that of the president. It is now left for each and every one of us to be conscious, to respect the roles, all right, and responsibilities that everybody has to play so that everything moves smoothly. So I think that's what I think about dignity of labor.
All right, Huleyi, thank you so much for that insight. We'll
Thank
take a
you.
quick break now to go pay some bills. There are more national core values that we're going to be talking about on the
Absolutely.
show this afternoon. And remember that you too can be part of the conversation by calling the studio numbers, or for those watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you can
Yeah.
also leave a comment. I tell you, it gladdens our heart whenever you leave a comment asking questions or contributing to whatever
the
it is that
conversation, yeah.
we are discussing on radio. So do join us after this quick timeout.
Things they happen for our community, eh? Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAT and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Africa. Do you want to work in the healthcare sector? Do you want to be a trained, certified nursing assistant, medical assistant, or caregiver? If yes, then register to enroll for Push Africa's one-year diploma in certified nursing assistance training happening at the African University College of Science and Technology, Abuja. Targeted trainees are unemployed graduates, O-level or ordinary diploma graduates, or anyone interested in working as a support worker in the healthcare sector. For details, log on to www.pushafrica.org or WhatsApp 080-339-42015, 080-339-42015. For registration, pick up application form at our partner radio stations or visit the reception.
Playing.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Africa. Do you want to work in the healthcare sector? Do you want to be a trained, certified nursing assistant, medical assistant, or caregiver? If yes, then register to enroll for Push Africa's one-year diploma in certified nursing assistance training happening at the African University College of Science and Technology, Abuja. Targeted trainees are unemployed graduates, O-level or ordinary diploma graduates, or anyone interested in working as a support worker in the healthcare sector. For details, log on to www.pushafrica.org or WhatsApp 080-339-42015, 080-339-42015. For registration, pick up application form at our partner radio stations or visit the reception at the African University of Science and Technology, Abuja.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Sunny Side Show. It's about 32 minutes gone past the top of the hour of 12, and we're still keeping a conversation right here in the studio, and our guest is still seated right here, so you can join the conversation from the other side of the MIC. Holy Ray is still in the studio.
All right, it is the national core values, and we're still talking about the national core values and why it's important for you to imbibe all of these values. I mean, on a daily basis, when you step out of your house or your homes, to work, to the market, to the bank, even whilst traveling. And should you even find yourself, outside the shores of Nigeria, what exactly are you doing to portray, to uphold these national core values? All right. We've talked about discipline, we've talked about dignity of labor, we've talked about integrity, religious tolerance, patriotism. Lawrence Uleji is still very much in the studios. He is the global secretary at Generation for Societal Change, an organization, if you must know, that is dedicated to promoting these values for the benefit of future generations. So, Mr. Uleji, let's talk about social justice, the place of fairness and equality in the treatment of all individuals.
Indeed.
Right. I mean, there are dissenting voices, whether we like it or not. Almost on a daily basis, we hear people lament, or complain that they are being marginalized. They are not treated equally or fairly, and it's more like a trigger to want to do the wrong thing, just to sabotage the efforts of a few who are dedicated to charting the way forward.
Yeah, thank you very much, Efe. You see, social justice, of course, is the fair and just relationship between an individual and his society. It's a very critical aspect of, should I say, society, where people understand their place and feel right by the way that society treats them, and but I do believe that we have actually started this journey to a just society, where we have started the journey. It's just like a baby has been born, I'll put it that way.
Right.
Many people, when they talk about social justice, they talk about what the society owes them. They do not talk about what they owe
The society.
the society. And then you see this relationship is quite symbiotic. As a matter of fact, when we started Generation for Societal Change and talking about social justice, we like to talk about social justice by opening the eyes of listeners, both those in high positions and also the individuals, to say this relationship needs to be addressed,
Right.
in a way that it favors everybody. Social justice, as you see, one of the importance of it is it reduces crime rates. Many a times we sit down for many months talking about certain situations in country, right? Most part of the reasons for those situations is the absence of social justice as a value in that particular society. And it cannot be overemphasized that we need to become conscious. What do we need to do as individuals in our society? What does the society owe us? All right, and everybody needs to wake up. That's why I said it's a journey. I think our eyes have opened. I think life has happened, social media has happened, exposure has happened. We now see other parts. Just like when you're in your space and you're like, oh, something is wrong here, but now you have access to see the next side. And you're like, these guys are balling. Why can't we ball? But those guys also, they pay a price. You must be ready to pay your own price. And then the government or the leadership must be ready to also do its part so that relationship can be fair and just.
So in terms of ensuring social justice, Huleji, from your own observation, as a patriotic Nigerian that you are,
By
do you
God's grace.
think, by God's grace, I like that. Do you
By
think the
God's grace.
government, I mean, when I say government, I'm referring to government at all levels, I mean, the federal, the state, and also the local government, do you think they've really done enough, in terms of ensuring that everyone is treated fairly and equally?
In Nigeria.
Each time I come to studio, I'm asked to judge.
Not really. We're just trying to balance the whole thing.
No, I understand that you want my opinion on
Right.
this. But what I would say is there's so much to be done. I started my conversation by saying we have started the journey. First, there's something about knowledge. You cannot do beyond your know. You cannot do beyond what you know.
Exactly.
So even when you try to say, oh, this guy at the local government level is not doing what he should be doing, that guy at that point might be doing all that he understands to do. And so we need to go back to the beginning, because we're in a democratic space. We need to now start equipping the masses to know how to choose leaders that can deliver to them what they aspire to get. All right, and these leaders have to be chosen on values. We started a campaign in the last 2 elections, vote for values. Forget about all this drama of tribalism and all these things. It's rubbish. It's a waste of time.
It's like a distraction.
It's a waste of time. Vote values. Vote for values. Ask, who is this person? What has this person been doing in the last 10 years? Who am I putting as in charge of my life and that of the people coming after me? Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is what we're trying to do. And that is when we can get to a position when we start choosing people based on values.
Credibility.
All right? People that have demonstrated over time. What have they done with their lives? And then you put them in positions. You cannot, you have to have been training. Do you get what I'm saying? All right. And then when you see someone that has not trained, then because the person wears a starch white agbada, you say, yes. In short, that is how they now deceive the people. They now come with starch. And then the people think that is who should lead. The guy don't know nothing. He has not trained to be leader.
Mr. Huleji, I'm sorry to butt you now, because you said we should check people's antecedents, their track records. People with values
to choose leaders.
To choose leaders.
Yes.
But is it not possible that all of this can be faked? Is it not possible that all of this can be packaged, and then when this person eventually gets into office, he's doing
how long can you fake something?
There are people who can actually pretend for God knows
for
how
a
long.
lifetime.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes, there are professional pretenders.
I hope we do not fall in the hands of such people. But
Amen.
here's the thing.
Right.
You know, when you see someone that has demonstrated discipline in
Yeah.
running up a hill 3 times every day for the last 3 years, is that person pretending to have strength to run up the hill?
Maybe just trying to prove a point.
No, you can't prove a point by running up the hill. You know what running up a hill and coming down 3 times is? You must have taken some level of discipline
Right.
to fake that, as against someone that cannot even lift himself from a bed. Do you understand? I would rather take that guy that ran up the hill, even if he faked it. You know, they say fake it to make it.
Oh, okay.
And then he has faked it, and now he's able to run up the hill 3 times. So if the race is run up the hill twice, what are the chances that guy will run up the hill
Yeah,
twice?
but we've had cases of various politicians who come during the campaign. We see a different human being, and after the whole election, getting to the office, we also see a different personality.
That was not what
entirely.
I said. What I said, Holy Ray, is check what that guy has been doing in the last 10 years.
Yes,
I said,
so I was
take
going
your
to say
time.
that how would you now qualify this person from the beginning of the process, let me say the process of the campaign, and to the period he gets to the office, and then nobody is doing or answering any of those things that he had promised a particular community that he was going to do.
Well, we're jumping the conversation. The first part we started is, what has this guy been doing? You've already taken the guy into office.
Yeah.
That is another conversation. But if we want to even go there, right, we as the voters, we are actually lazy. Let me put it that way, to investigate, to check. We are mostly about our stomach. You know, when somebody comes and
Share
in short,
stuff.
if you even come for campaign without like 3 Hiluxes and 4 Lexus, they are like, this one is not ready
this
yet.
one no get money.
Do you understand? If you come rolled sleeves,
Yeah.
you ride a bicycle and come for, hey, they will say, Holga go kill us for this place today. Do you understand? So that's the mindset we are still in, but it's a very whack mindset. We need to do more to encourage people to come out of that mind, because there's something that we're all looking for. We are tired now. Are we not tired?
We are
tired. We need to
I
come to
agree with
a
you.
brighter side, and then that has a lot to do with our minds.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now let's talk about self-reliance, and this will be the last, but certainly not the least, amongst the national core values, enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution. Personal and collective responsibility for one's well-being. I mean,
Dependence
how?
on your own resources and power, to do things.
How do you juxtapose that? I mean, side by side, the harsh reality that we're faced with at the moment.
How do you mean?
I mean, when you talk about self-reliance, being self-dependent.
Yes.
How is that even a national core value? Yes.
It is. It's in our
Because
constitution.
we now have a mindset that it is the responsibility of the government to provide good roads, provide water, provide electricity, provide good and affordable health care.
Yes.
Right? And in recent times, I've also had conversations with political analysts. Very few of them, though, that would say that it is not the responsibility of the government to provide all of those for you.
Yeah.
But they promise all of these things during the campaign season or era. So should the self-reliance you're talking about, are you trying to say that we should go all out and provide these things for ourselves in a bid to be self-dependent?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Before self-reliance, we talked about social justice, right? You see, we talked about a relationship. Government by itself cannot be by itself. It needs to be with people, right? And so even when you look at how governance is, there is the public sector and then there is the private sector. The private sector in Nigeria contributes way more in employing Nigerians more than the government itself. And so
that's true.
But when the government talks about unemployment, it takes those numbers into consideration. Is that not correct?
It's
That's
correct.
because it also recognizes the role of the private sector in governance. When you talk about self-reliance is in different strata, all right? As an individual, are you self-reliant? There are some people that when they go to a house where they have free AC, free Wi-Fi, there's rice, there's chicken. This is the house they want to build.
It's they
don't want to go anywhere again. They just keep playing with their phones. And there's also families that are not self-reliant. Every day they want something, they're looking at the uncle, the aunt. It's like that. And then they put pressure on. And then it also happens for countries that are also not self-reliant. Everything they want to consume, they are waiting for this other guy to send to them. Now, when you talk about self-reliance, you now ask, what are we talking about? Are we talking about from the individual point, from the family point, or from the country point? Let's, even for the sake of this conversation, draw it down to the individual point, because if we understand the individual level, we can now put it to the country level. As an individual, what we're trying to say is you need to start relying on your own strength and abilities, because self-reliance can build courage. In the space that we are currently, our story is different as Nigerians, Ife. But we see what's happening in America. But quickly say, in America, in France, but our story is different. At this point, it has never been so important as now, when we so need self-reliance as individuals, and I was sharing with a friend the other day, like, because I'm a volunteer with GSC, and for many years I've been talking about these values, it's as though I didn't even have the mindset to go work for anyone. All right, I'm being very honest. My wife is very aware. I left university. Yes, I got experiences in some, and I'm so grateful for those that employed me at the time to give me some knowledge. But then I was thrown into the farm to go and farm maize in a village in the west part of Kogi State called Oduape. I was on the 7 hectares farming maize. That was my first experience. I made some mistakes. All right, I made some mistakes, but I had 90 bags of maize.
Oh wow!
Yes,
that's a nice harvest.
Yes, and I was farming for family. I did not farm that I was going to earn. I was farming for my family at the time, and because of that experience, I came out of that farm, and the next thing I built was something called Canterball.com. Canterball.com is something I built for sports, football, to more like enter their life score data, because I started having that mindset to look at my environment and find, okay, what can I do? That is what self-reliance does. And between that time and now, I've gone ahead to build close to 4 businesses. I'm being honest, but what am I trying to say? Not to brag. It starts by practicing. You don't have to get it all figured out before you become self-reliant, but you need to have the mindset that you are already equipped from birth, doing this by the power to depend on yourself to get things done. And that is the power of self-reliance.
Okay, so when you say we should try to depend on self-reliance, it means you have to probably search within yourself and look for those things that you're capable of doing.
And let me say this, please. Let me say this.
Okay.
We are in a very special time. Nigeria is in a very special point. All right.
So everyone is useful.
Aside being useful, this is the time where there are so many things in the air, opportunities to capture. But those who do not understand the power of self-reliance would not see it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
So how do you explore these opportunities with lean resources?
There are prices to be paid if you want to progress in life. I'm telling you about a guy staying in Otako for 8 years, and then the next thing I'm seeing myself in a village where there's no electricity. If I had not gone there, would I be able to come out and tell you I built Canterball or that I built Yansa.ng? No, I couldn't have been able to say those things, but it took me paying that price. The problem is not everyone wants to pay a price.
Right.
That is the truth.
They want to make it, but they don't want to pay the price. I think a lot of
I think that is where the secret of self-reliance is. There's a price to be paid. You have to give it your time. You have to give it energy. You have to,
just like you saying, I want to do this, and 12 hours you're on your bed. The time you're supposed to wake up early to catch up with so many things.
It's a lot, and you still need the help of God. Let me put it that way. Please, you need God's help.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's take it away from the individual level now to the country level.
Yes.
I mean, how self-reliant are we as a nation?
We're still in that journey. We're in a journey. I think that's why I said it, that the opportunities are now there. Because you see, governance, the tools of governance is with policies and programs and all that. And if you look around, you will see that there are so many policies and programs ongoing, and we don't even have the time to study the policies. We just wait for the one that makes the headlines. They now say something like Nigeria will not import
Rice
share
again.
butter. Hold on, share butter for the next 6 months. The question is, who are the operators of the processing plants in Nigeria? Do you understand? The ones that are being held, who is using it? Where are the suppliers of these share nuts to these processing plants? How are they? I think conversations are already happening in the background.
Absolutely.
But these are opportunities. If the president says, let's not take in share butter for 6 months, that's huge opportunities, because there's so much share butter in Mina. There's so much in Kogi. These guys have to mobilize. They have to identify the factories. They have to go there, process it. People have to walk around it and make use of this 6 months window and make so much money. That's the truth. So there are policies and it's happening. People just need to start looking inward. Things like toothpick. If they put a policy on toothpick, I don't know if there's a policy yet, but the question is, how can we make toothpick? We have so much trees everywhere. What equipment do we need to start making toothpick? Because you and I will use toothpick within the next 1 week.
Absolutely.
Do you understand? So there are so many opportunities, but people are scared. They're like, will
of
I
starting
make it?
something.
Will I make it? But if you do not start, how would you know? So that's the power of, and I think Nigeria is on the right path with self-reliance. If they continue to improve on policies, what it takes is the government that makes the policy cannot now be the government that will now go and start using the policies. It will not work. The people have to be so interested in the policies of government, take advantage of the value that it brings, and go ahead and make a lot of money and pay tax in 2026 for those that are running.
There is a trust deficit hanging somewhere.
Yes.
So when these policies are introduced, no matter how realistic they are, no matter how promising they sound or appear, people still feel like, oh no, this one does not have a human face or something. It's not realistic.
Indeed.
How do we bridge that gap?
There's work. There's work in bridging that gap, because you see, we have come, and it's part of what affects self-reliance. We have come to a point where we feel like even if there is a policy, is who that would now take advantage of that policy. Do you know the person in that office? If you don't know, but that is not always the case. I think that this narrative of this trust deficit has been lingering. It has been with us for a really long time. I'm saying try it first. When you try it and you encounter some level of fraud or whatever, escalate it as much as you can. All right, it will make somebody else learn, correct? But we have to engage the system first. You cannot sit down and say the person that is in the Ministry of Health, the Finance Department, right here, right now, that person must be corrupt. You have not even met the person. You don't know the person. You have never visited the Ministry of Health. You don't know what that person is all about. Go there. Ask your questions. If they do not respond, then come and say, oh, they did not respond to me. There are so many human rights should I say channels that you can use to escalate your experiences.
Okay. All right. It's been the National Core Values, and today on the show we are exploring. This is actually part B or part 2 of the conversation, exploring the National Core Values as enshrined in Chapter 2, Section 23 of the 1999 Constitution, and we've been discussing with Lawrence Uleji, the Global Secretary at Generation for Societal Change, right here. Remember that our studio lines are actively open, and you can call in to share your thoughts. Tell us how patriotic you are as a citizen, and what do you think has been an impediment to these national core values. I mean, you probably have an experience you'd like to share. Please feel free to call in and share with us. You can stay anonymous if it's fine, and if not, feel free to tell us your name and your location. Call us on 09073530044 or
09087668888.
Well, do it to leave a message or a voice note on the WhatsApp portal number, and that is 09097054450. Uleji, I know that we are gradually, coming to the end of the conversation, and we know that the 2027 general election is around the corner. Knowing that you're from the Generation for Societal Change, we see you, you come off as an ambassador, right? One that is out to promote these values, promote, unity, oneness, peace, loyalty, commitment, and everything good, as a matter of fact, as far as the Nigerian story is concerned.
Yes, indeed.
Now, it has actually come to our notice that some Nigerians are still very skeptical, in terms of going out to get registered. To get their PVCs. All right. I'd like you to speak to that. I think it's one wake-up call that we should be very intentional about on the show. All right,
Yes.
in the build-up to the general elections.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a very special situation because, like I told you earlier in the program, there are still many people who are, skeptical about the system, and I think that it's a call for those who are in charge to demonstrate, to show to the people that, this time is different. We really want to get it. Like I said, for me, I think it's a waste of time. This life is really too short. If you look at it, 100 years is a short time.
Yeah.
In our lives, and so these guys need to wake up. They need to wake up. They need to do more.
Right.
We do see some efforts, but they need to do more. They need to look at all the reviews from research agencies. Like I saw one from the Athena to say, it is about the administration or the governance of the technology of the beavers. They need to show to people that, if you place a vote, if the vote in this particular environment is the numbers of voters are more than the people registered in this space, they need to show.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand.
Could you please hold your thoughts? Let's squeeze in this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, my sister in the studio, my brother.
Oops.
Lady, it looks like it's BB Blessing.
So sorry about that. If you can, please do it to call back. You have about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Call back. Let's hear you. Hello.
Hello, my sister. How are you?
Very well,
Very
thank
well.
you. Good afternoon to you.
Wow, how are you now?
I'm very well. Is this BB Blessing?
Ochanya.
I do tell us
Ochanya.
Guess. Who will be? Oh, yeah, now.
BB Blessing.
BB Blessing. BB Blessing. BB Blessing, talk to us. Tell us.
You don't start. Now, well done, eh?
Thank you so
You
much.
know, Nigeria, I greet our guests.
Thank you so
I
much.
think he spoke like a youth. He spoke like a leader of tomorrow.
Yes. So.
What BB Blessing wants to say this afternoon? Look at young man as he spoke for this lady. If they can listen for us, I think we can do more better. Our leader know what may we even do well for our Nigeria. I don't understand. But since where they born me, where I start to grow now, they say the youth, they are the leader of tomorrow. Since now where I be, I never see youth where don't come out. Where our president say, okay, start for us, start for youth. So they know what may we come out. Even though we appoint ourselves, okay, this person can do it right. I think before our president come out, or our leader, they say, okay, they want to govern us, they want to rule us. I think they know what we need. Okay, this is not they correct. If our vote can cast, we can get it right.
Okay.
If they not going to use our police, chase us, we can get it right. Our leader, please, I don't even know what to say again.
Make it short. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. BB Blessing.
All right. I think you grab a lot from what she said.
Of course. But let me also say, there is a part that we all need to play.
Yeah.
In the coming elections, we need to do it differently. We need to start going to our friends' homes, and garnering them. For those of us that understand, we need to go and say, you know what, Efe, Holy Ray, come. Have you guys collected? Let me even see your PVC. Your PVC. Have you taken? You haven't. Please come. I'll buy you guys tea. I'll buy you guys something. Let's go and get it. And then during that period, we need to start going around. We need to become involved. We need to start going around and asking people, and then at the end of the day, if we organized ourselves so well, it is about organization.
Just the way we come together, when Nigeria is playing against another country.
Yes, that level of peace, that level of unity.
Right.
Yes, but also the responsibility of the law enforcement. They need to act right, because you see, we are actually becoming aware of what's really happening. And I've seen a lot. Well, I don't know how to
Anyway,
speak about
because
this
of
matter.
time, we
Time
might
is
not
not our friend.
get to talk about everything.
But
she
all I
mentioned.
want to say is there's a lot of organizing to do
Yeah.
amongst ourselves. I've been in this studio, Efe, maybe because of your name. I've never asked you where you're from, but it doesn't stop me from having a really nice conversation with
Yeah.
you.
Right.
Talk more of Holy Ray.
Yeah.
We should take this kind of behavior into the elections
right.
and get it
Thank
done
you.
well.
Okay, Lawrence Oleji is the Global Secretary at Generation for Societal Change, an organization dedicated to promoting, national core values for the benefit of future generations. For those who actually listened, those who took their time to just monitor the conversation, we want to be optimistic that you've been able to learn, unlearn, and relearn, certain things. And beyond learning, we just hope that you would practicalize whatever it is that you've garnered from the conversation today. Bibi Blessing, our lone caller, thank you so much for calling. And to Sunnyside on Facebook, he left a message. It says, enjoying the show, I believe, in Nasarawa State University, Kefi, Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us on the show as well. Lawrence Oleji, we look forward to having more conversations with you in the weeks to come.
Thank you very much.